Bugeye guys, here's two Bugeyes that have just arrived from California from Bring a Trailer auction. So I'm going to take you on a tour of this green car. Let's see how the buyer did, and let's compare what we discover with what was covered in the auction. Unfortunately, there's usually a gap, not always apparent to people online, but this is the thing about online purchasing in the modern world. You don't always get what you expected, and that's where we come in. We've had probably 6 Bring a Trailer cars come. All of them have needed a bunch of sorting, and let's see how this car does in that vein. Either way, the new owner was smart to have us grab the car and bring it here on its way home to them, and that way we can address anything that it needs. So let's see what it is that would potentially get addressed, and then I'll be in touch with the client to see what they want to do. So the first thing that jumps out at me is that these rear bumper overriders look a little low. Not sure what's going on with that, but you can see there's quite a big gap right here. These look like they're bent downward, and yet the upper mounts are kind of in the A, not the U. They're going like this. So that's a little thing. This ends a little shy of this depression on this car. You see how they end about at this, a little higher than the depression. See that? Notice. The other thing is there's some scratches here on the fender. They were not put in by the shipper. You can see how somebody who had perhaps something in their pocket, a handbag, something hanging down, but that's probably a lean into the car scratch. And I wanted to call that out mainly because anybody who goes to car shows, if you're around nice cars, you just always need to be mindful that that is a consequence of a little bit less care than we might like. This is a beautiful car, by the way. I didn't want to jump in with big complaints, and they're not really big issues. Actually, what I do think is more of an issue is the right bumper looks a little higher to me, so maybe symmetry would be an opportunity. We could add some symmetry. Okay, the other thing that I noticed just jumping in was this. This drives me nuts on these cars. The Bugeye is a car that is such a fantastic tactile experience. You wear these cars and you don't want the steering wheel popping in and out. That's an issue for me, and we will absolutely fix this. These are beautiful, nicely done. There's a lot that's really well executed aesthetically on this car. On to some more mechanical things. Beautiful seats. This is a really interesting color combination, but a terrible gluing job, and these are really hard to glue back in. The glue, once it gets this way, you'll never get it to stick again. So that's something that we could potentially change to black ribbed rubber. Oops, that needs some tuning up. We're back. We have lap belts, which is good. 3-point shoulder belts would be my preference. And we have another vinyl issue here, which is a byproduct of over twisting this screw. And whether or not we can flatten that out and re-glue it, I don't know. We usually would have to take the whole thing off and recover it, and we wouldn't have that material, but that's another little detail that we can address. Car starts nicely. The oil pressure is good, but here's another interesting thing. Let's see if you can pick this up. Hear anything unusual? Haven't gone very far. I'll confess I heard this coming out of the truck, and I'll give you another clue going this way. Be able to hear that. So that's the cluster gear, and they do that in reverse and in first, and that's unfortunately the sound of a worn out cluster gear. That's just another nice testimonial of how gentle you need to be with your problems. So we have a gearbox that unfortunately needs to be changed, but that brings us an opportunity to do a 5-speed conversion, or you live with this. Doesn't sound so good, but it goes away in second because you're now no longer on the cluster gear. Then we have another interesting thing. This is a pet peeve of mine. I'll go to wide angle. The steering wheel is not straight, so we will straighten that. The car is also not, the toe-in is incorrect. I can tell you just from the way it's going down the road. So we will align that. And then the car pulls to the left when you brake. Let's try that again. Yeah, you can see the two things going on there. The left front brake is gripping and the right front brake is not as much. So we'll want to take off the drum and see what's going on. But watch this and see if you can see the clue. Can you see how much the left front is diving? No, we'll check it when I get out of the car, but it needs a left front shock. So the shock absorbers are also time for new front lever shocks. Now that would be something we should fix promptly. The gearbox, the customer can wait if need be, if they can live with that noise. So we have that to address. The gauges are working nicely, and that's great. Should be able to see on this little manhole cover, it's just not quite as tight in the front end. And then we have a little bit of wiggle here too. I'll bet you the steering rack is not tight in the car. So these are all things that we're sort of cheating. After hundreds of these, we can identify this stuff in just a drive down the street. But we've got some work to do on this car, mainly with the front suspension, the steering wheel, the alignment of the front end, and potentially the transmission. But it really is a good car. I didn't mean to be so hard on it, but these are things that we have a chance to address now that the car has come here. Thank you for watching from Bugeye, guys. I hope that these videos are educational about what needs to be addressed and what you can get from the wild west of internet car sales. This we can fix too. It's a chronic problem on these, but we have a fix for that. And let's see if I was right about the shocks. Oh yeah, way too soft on that side. And this one's not a whole lot better, but a little better. So we definitely need new shocks. And we'll want to look in the back too at the shock absorbers while we're at it. And then a lot of times, here's something else that you hopefully can see. This right here, there's an air gap. I don't know if you can see because I don't have a light on me, but this is the radius arm bushing, and it looks to be an air gap there, so we'll probably need to change those as well. But these are chronic problems. The nicest thing about this car is it's a beautiful paint job, a very workable car for improvement. Sorry, but these are also the wrong fittings for the tonneau on the front. These should be lift the dot instead of 10x fittings. These are the smaller of the two, and the lift the dot would be correct. So the reason for that is it's really difficult to get these mushroom things to open on the dashboard. So people much prefer to have the lift dot that the factory used for that. Anyway, we will transform this car, I'm sure, bring it to the next level. And yeah, these are supposed to be lift the dots as well for the top. So we probably should change these. But nonetheless, so glad the car's here for improvements from Bugeye, guys. Okay, now here's a new thing that if you look at my shoe, that is not a long period of time. They all leak oil, but that is from being parked for roughly 3 minutes, and that's not a great sign. So let's take a look underneath here at what we can find and look at some more of the underside of this car. Okay, so that looks like a front timing cover leak that we can also fix. and a rear seal leak, so it's leaking at that cotter pin. Whoops. Yeah, that's the main culprit. That's the rear seal. This one in the center is the front seal, but yeah, that's a bit excessive. So all these cars leak oil. Most of them don't leak at this rate. That's the bell housing, so the rear seal is dripping. Oh my God, this one is definitely, oh, bad news, folks. So they should not leak this much. They all leak. Every online listing, if it's an honest seller, will say, yeah, it leaks, they all leak, but this is more than that. Sorry to say. The slave cylinder also is pretty wet, but I'm gonna guess that's all oil's coming out of that rubber boot from the same leak. So, okay, this is a car that needs the transmission. It's a smooth case transmission, and we know the gear's shot, so it would be a good opportunity to take it out, reseal the engine, fix the oil leak, change the transmission, and make it right. Not what the buyer was expecting, but again, something that we can fix while it's here. Excellent floor pan, looks like it was replaced. Excellent spring mount, really crusty rear shock absorber. I'll bet money that shock is finished. It's so old. Really crappy AutoZone fuel pump, which I would change and put in a more reliable one. Really ancient herringbone rear brake line. Those are dangerous, so we will change that. They haven't made herringbone lines in a long time. Beautiful authenticity, horrible safety reliability, so that will get changed. We have a differential leak, pretty normal. And another shock here that is old. Good exhaust. Maybe a leak, but it's fine. Original fuel tank. Beautiful restored foundation. Opportunity for more mechanical repairs. Here's that oil puddle from the other floor, further developed after a few minutes. It will stop leaking now that the engine's sitting, but it's still dripping. You know, one drip every 30 seconds is too much. So there's another drip. And then in the front, let's just see the front end. The rack boots look good, and those are drum brakes in the front. That there's nothing jumping out at me that says we've got a problem there. That's good. Hey folks, it's a great car. It really is. I'm sorry. It has a few needs, and we're happy to address them here at Bugeye, guys.